tap, tap. Is this thing on? Whoosh, whoosh. Oh, good. I think. Stevie Coyle here, Mighty Fine Guitars, the Friday Noontime webcast. Get up, get out of bed, you sleepyheads. It's noon. It's the crack of noon here in California. And time to shake off those tryptophan shakies and get cracking. And here's the Friday Noontime webcast. I've got a great guitar to show for you today. Let me check and make sure that you're there and that I'm here. Halfway there already. It's Black Friday. I threw them all out just for you folks to show you this guitar and keep it quiet in here. And the hordes will come back in after I'm through here. Take just a few minutes to show you this Gibson J-50 from 1966. Very sweet. Looks like things are happening. Very good. Turning down the volume. Always useful. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Here it is. And it's a sweetie. And again, strangely enough, Coyle with a flat pick. What the... This is a Gibson. I grew up, gotta admit, on Martins, as a lot of people did. So I've kind of got that Martin sound in my ear. But this... Wow. That big, bright, beautiful Gibson sound. This is a J-50. A dreadnought, essentially. Gibson's answer to the Martin Dreadnought, of course. Big guitar, big across the lower bout, deep body, wide across the waist, so not for everyone. Great for those people that stand up or are tall. Or don't mind playing their guitar angled like this, which is perfectly fine. It's totally legal. There's so many odd ideas about what you should and shouldn't do with the guitar. You shouldn't really play with a capo, because that's cheating. You shouldn't use your thumb over the top, because that's cheating. Because some book back in 1963, Frederick Node, damn your eyes, all of these notions that we got in our brains that classical guitar is the way to start playing acoustic guitar, steel string guitar, and that all of those same rules apply. You play with the guitar on your left knee, not your right. Classical guitar is different from steel string guitars. It's really a different instrument. Take it from your Uncle Stevie. It's really a different instrument in that with a classical guitar you've got a 2-inch wide fingerboard. Here you've got barely 1 11/16 across the nut. But on a classical guitar with 2 inches, you can't get your thumb over the top. So of course it's a rule. Don't put your thumb over the top. You're playing strictly with your thumb behind the fingerboard and not using the thumb to fret anything, which is limiting, let's face it. So it's mechanically more advantageous to have the guitar up like this and play like this with your hand fairly close to your face. And that happens better on the left knee for most human beings. Don't want to disinclude anybody. Very inclusive around here at Mighty Fine Guitars. So, with a steel string guitar, totally cool to put your thumb around the top. In fact, there's some things you can't do. I sent tablature to a guy. I wrote this little tune, Salt Flat Rhapsody. It's a little swingy kind of thing. I sent tab to a guy. I thought, boy, this guy paid me $5 to send him tab for this. I must be good or something. He wrote right back and said, what the hell did you send me? You can't play this. I had forgotten to indicate that the thumb actually creeps up the neck and does the bass line. Once we did that, he let me keep the $5. 1966, completely redone by that same fella that did the Martin Tripolo from a couple of weeks ago and the Epiphone 12-string from several weeks before that. This guy's good. Out of Petaluma, Sebastopol area, Matt Kerslake, capital K-E-R-S-L-A-K-E. Matt Kerslake, up and comer. Keep an eye on him. Building and primarily repairs at the moment. And he's so good. He'll take guitars that other people just wouldn't touch. They say, well, it cost you, the customer, more for me to repair this than it would to get it done. He finds these old guitars and brings them back to life. That Epiphone 12-string from 63 or 64, wow. It was pretty much in matchsticks when he got a hold of it, and he brought it back, and it's a wonderful guitar. It's being played and loved in Florida right now. And the Martin that's in here, the 0018, a wonderful guitar, also a Lazarus, brought back from the dead. This thing, it's a 66 J-50, he says, that has had the works. New bridge, new bridge plate, refret, sounds great. 4250. I must be crazy. It's Crazy Stevie's Guitar Emporium. 4250 for this guitar, which is below Blue Book, which is hard to say apparently. Well, you may ask, Stevie, what's the difference between a J45 and a J50? It's the top, pretty much. It's the color of the top. J50s have a blonde top. J45s are the coveted zone, is kind of pre-war. And pre-war, lots of spruce was going into the military effort. Oh. Did something go wrong? Are we disconnected, folks? Let me know. Hi, Jeff Russell. Hi, Annie. Hi, Annie. Hi, Robert B., Jerry Cross, Gary Nugent. Are we back on? Somebody let me know if we've got signal back. There's Larry Pattis. All good here. Thank you, David Evansalk. I'll continue. I got a little message here saying you've been cut off. It's like my inheritance. Hey, Christian, thank you. And greetings to all of you Yosemiteans. I don't know how to phrase it properly. Gibson J-50, 1966. Short scale, which is nice soft feel under the left hand. 24 3/4 inches. Oh, I was telling you the difference between a J45 and a J50. J45 had the sunburst top, had the burst top. Frequently, those sunbursts were there to hide flaws in the wood. So this is essentially the same guitar, triple binding around the top. Not a substantial difference. It's a J45 with triple binding and a blonde top because after the war, they could get the good spruce back in guitar production. And trying to find out anything about Gibson is a challenge, even for Gibson experts. The history is so convoluted. The serial number series is so convoluted. We were very sure that this is 1966. And this has a real live bridge on it instead of that rather odd, funky as hell, adjustable bridge that Gibsons in the 60s had. A nice idea, I suppose, and some of those guitars sound great. I've got a Hummingbird in here that has one of those on it from 1961. Sounds fantastic. But for most mere mortals, trying to get that thing adjusted is nothing you want to do yourself. You want to take it to somebody like Matt Kerslake in Petaluma and Sebastopol. Really even sound. Really even. Martins tend to be big and boomy. This one's got plenty of bass, but it's big in every dimension. Instead of having kind of a scoop in the mid-range, the way a lot of Martin dreadnoughts do, a lot of bass and a lot of treble. Mid-range is kind of froggy. But that's what you were after with a Martin. You want that kind of scoop in the EQ curve, the loudness button on our old Marantz stereos from the 70s and 60s. That's what you want out of a Martin. Gibsons are known for evenness. They talk about lots of people talk about guitars that would record really well. I think this one would record really well. So even. Wouldn't have to mess around with the mic placement to kind of take care of that boom that big rosewood Martins have. Oh, I should mention, mahogany back and sides, Sitka spruce top. Nothing fancy, but you get that sound, and part of that sound is the age of the thing. We try, and there are ways to kind of help your guitar age, even when you're not playing these vibration devices that you can hitch on there. But there's just about nothing that'll substitute for 60-ish, nearly 60 years. 57 years of play and an expert repair, a totally expert repair. Saturation. I didn't overdrive your speakers there, but I just couldn't help myself. The thing wants to be played nice and loud. There are certain thresholds for guitars. Some guitars really don't do their thing. In fact, I'm often in here encouraging people to play. People come in and think, oh, it's a guitar museum. I really shouldn't be playing any of these. I don't deserve to play any of these. The only thing that's deserve about this shop or any shop like it is, do you have the capacity to enjoy it? Then you deserve it. So people come in and they play real softly. And most guitars sound exactly the same. Below a certain threshold, they don't do their thing. They don't do their individual thing until you get up over that threshold, whatever it is. So when you come into a shop, you don't want to be banging on the guitars, especially if you're inexpert with a flat pick. But you do want to engage the guitar. You want to light it up. Lucky for us, this one lights up at a very moderate level. Narrow fingerboard. Just noticed. It's a constant sort of thing. Some people say, I've got to have 1 3/4. I've got to have 1 11/16. Just so you know, this one is on the narrow side of 1 11/16. They joke about when guitars were hand-built, they weren't built by CNC machines or anything. They were built by guys with draw knives and sandpaper. And there were Monday necks and there were Friday necks. You know, during the week, the necks changed a little bit. This one is kind of a classic C-shaped neck, classic C, not kind of an open C or a closed C too much. It's kind of a C-ish sort of thing, but it's narrow. It would take a little getting used to, more than the 10 minutes I've been playing for you to get used to this. For a lot of us, they're accustomed to slightly wider necks. I've been playing with a flat pick, but Jorma Kauton, this is the guitar that he played on that first Hot Tuner record. Not this very guitar, but a Gibson J-50. He's famous or notorious for playing one of these. And it's going to take me a minute or two to get used to the string spacing over here and the narrow string spacing over here in particular in the left hand. My ear is drawn back to flat picking on this, but did I mention the narrow fingerboard? Come and get it. 1966 Gibson J-50 in great shape, completely brought back to life by Matt Kerslake in Sebastopol, California. $42.50 is the asking on this, under Blue Book pricing. Come and get it. Comments or questions? Stack them up. Oh, in fact, let me see if there's anything needs dealing with pronto, but I suspect that comments and questions could be kept. Kathy Kallick, how are you? There you go. Peter Wilson. Melissa Landucci. Go Cowboys. Jano, excellent. Yes, I know, Bruce. I was going to try and do the French horn portion of that, but my embouchure is not up to it. It's the cold. Hi, Linda Patterson. Steve Wilson, welcome. And Jorma plays the J-50 sometimes. That's absolutely correct, David Evans Salk. All right. Well, it's time for me to open the shop up again. So, any comments or questions you have, stack them up down below. I'll address them one by one. I'll be posting this to the Mighty Fine Guitars Facebook webpage, as well as to the Instagram account and the YouTube account. So do feel free to spread the word. Share this to anyone you think might be interested. The guitar is for sale, as are several dozen others around here. So do spread the word. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. I sure did. What a lovely day here in California. It was just great. Saw some great friends and family and all like that. So down the road, everybody. See you next week with whatever else comes walking in the door. Who knows? I just sit here and they walk in the door. Night, everybody.